1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
That's you can, to some extent, yeah. You can't control what comes from within, yeah. But at the same time, taking the action, before you take the action, you can decide not to go with the thought. Okay, let me just a weird example, yeah. Just wake up in the morning. Oh, you don't have milk at home, no job, nothing. Oh, I could go to the store, nick one. You understand? Yeah, that fulfills the desire. But at the same time, you could wake up. Why would I go shoplift? That's not part of me. Then you control that thought. You understand? So that's what I can say. You can't really determine what would come to your mind at certain points, because you might be in a depends on the mood. You might be angry, and at that point, lots of stuff will come to mind. You can't really control them, but the action you take, you can control. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and I think what you said there absolutely tallies with what a lot of eminent scientists do say, and it's quite an interesting point, because one very important part of living in a society has to have rules, regulations, because otherwise, if people are allowed to do just what they want, crime-wise or in any otherwise, a society couldn't possibly function. So the question that can sometimes come up about free will, if we don't actually have much by way of free will, then how can we hold responsible or accountable in society people who commit crimes and eventually they go to prison? How, if we don't have control over what we do, what we are, but it just happens, then how do we do that? And this is really the point. And a lot of neuroscientists, doctors, etc., the view is that, in a way, people who have got the capacity to do bad things, more than the average, if you like, they've got more free will than the majority, because, as you rightly say, when they got a notion of doing something that they know they shouldn't do, and let's take out things like desperation or whatever, but they know they shouldn't do it, it's a criminal act, they actually do have the option of saying, no, I'm not going to do that. So they're making a free will choice. Yeah. Whereas, as I've said before, and as Einstein said, really, most of us don't have that freedom to do those things we would never normally do. So, yeah, I think you've hit on a very good point there, that, free will is something that is very hard to define whether we really have it or not. It's interesting because, as I say, Einstein had very strong views on this, and as a bit of an aside, we all have heard of Marilyn Monroe, haven't we? And it said, the question was, what did Marilyn Monroe say about Einstein? The famous anecdote claims Marilyn Monroe said to Einstein, would it not be wonderful if we had a child with your brains and my beauty? That's what she said to Einstein. Einstein is said to have wittily replied, yes, but imagine a child with my beauty and your brains. That is obviously quite humorous. An anecdote may or may not be true. Interestingly, something people probably don't know is that Marilyn Monroe had, they reckon, an IQ, intelligence quotient, of 160, which is the same as Einstein. She was actually a very, very...
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang, with fun.
A very, very intelligent woman, and she has quite a history. There have been films written about her and so on. But yeah, they were around together. They were both icons around at the same time, Marilyn Monroe and Albert Einstein. He once said, "I'm a determinist." He famously stated, "I do not believe in free will, but I believe in free won't," which I thought was quite an interesting aside. Another aside here, I don't want to go off tangent too much because we're leading up to what I said before about how accountable are people in society for the things they do. Society has to have rules and can punish people, put them in prison, take their liberty away for bad things. But if ultimately people are not fully accountable, then you've got a problem. But on this subject of, it's good to get to see what highly intelligent people have said about this. And this is one such woman. Do you know, you probably don't know, but who is the most intelligent woman ever? In fact, do you know who had the highest recorded intelligence quotient ever? It's a woman. You probably won't know her. Funnily enough, she's another Marilyn, not Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn von Savant. She was born in 1946. I think she's now 78 or 79.
Okay.
She's recognised for having the highest recorded intelligence in the Guinness Book of Records. And she had a score which was actually, she went through a test of 228. It was listed in 1985 based on tests taken as a child. And she earned the title of the smartest person in the world. She's a writer known for her Ask Marilyn column and her correct analysis of the complex Monty Hall problems. Now, by the age of 10, she could read she'd read the entire American encyclopedic range. She had a recorded IQ of 228, age 10, and she's still alive. Now, the Guinness Book of Records discontinued this particular record in the 90s because mostly people were not formally recorded by a test, which this lady was. Even Einstein wasn't, and most others were not. Apparently, the Monty Hall controversy in 1990, Marilyn solved the Monty Hall problem. I don't know what that is, a famous probability puzzle. Her correct answer led to 10,000 letters, including many from PhDs arguing against her, yet she was proved right. And she, in the Guinness Book of Records, recorded the highest IQ category. So it just shows you that even there, guys, women come out on top.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang.